Seemed like my video ended for some reason. There was no need for the video to end. But yes, we are still here. Hello, I'm still on live because I'm still breaking things down for Saturday Science Club. Hello. But yes, going into letting you know about just recapping very quickly what we're doing for Saturday Science Club. Yes, we are still going to um, have program on October 4th. Yes, we are still running on our schedule of first, second, and third Saturdays. Yes, we are confirmed for our location that we have been at for Saturday Science Club for the last several years. We're going to be at Wadley on 114th Street between Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Boulevard and Frederick Douglass Boulevard, also known as 7th and 8th Avenues. We're going to be running from 12 to 2 p.m. Drop off is absolutely encouraged for your littles. We are still doing all of those things. Program is still free for participants. All of that is absolutely happening. Okay. And so we really want to make sure that our families are aware. I'm tagging in some folks now just because I just want to make sure that this comes up on their feeds. Yes, we are doing all the things. And one of the conversations that I was starting to have with you right before the live got cut off was that though program is designed for elementary school children, we have some broad ranges, and so definitely reach out to me if your child is like slightly older. That yes, they can still be dropped off. If they're slightly younger, you will need to send a family member with them just to help them navigate the space. That's all that is. They're absolutely welcome because we do not believe that here at Science Club, we do not believe that children, how can I say that just because they're younger doesn't mean that they cannot participate. They just need some supports around that. Okay. Again, navigating the space. That's all it is. All the activities I know how to differentiate activities for pretty much almost everything we do for a child as young as 2, all the way up to a child that's 16 years old. Okay. So you just let us know how you want to interact with us and we will give you those supports because Saturday Science Club is one of our core services that we provide. It's one of the core sections of our program. And that's why I spend so much time talking about it because it's important to me. It is a little backstory on Saturday Science Club. I started Saturday Science Club after we launched summer camp, actually 2 or 3 summers into running summer camp annually. I started Saturday Science Club because I noticed that my students from summer were not maintaining not that they weren't maintaining their skills, but that they did not have an outlet for their STEAM-centered curiosities. That they just weren't being provided with that. Because again, one of the reasons I started Science Club period is that STEAM education, there's several gaps in the quality and the quantity and the enthusiasm with which STEAM is delivered in school. Science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, for those of you wondering what STEAM is. And so for that reason, I started Saturday program. We launched Saturday program as a companion piece to our summer program. So for all of my babies who were in summer camp this past year, you absolutely qualify to be in Saturday program this year, right? Because we want to make sure that children who have this curiosity or that is encouraged, and children who have not been provided with the opportunity to even explore, to even find out if they're curious about these subjects, that is afforded to them, and in particular with Saturday program, free of charge. So that being said, we're super excited to see you on the 27th of September for Open Streets, and super excited to see you on October 4th to launch our Saturday Science Club programming. As I was saying in the last live again before I got cut off, just in case you don't have time to go back to watch the other one, I want to make sure I say all the things in this one. Towards the end of October, the other events that we'll be doing on those 2 Saturdays towards the end of October, those 2 weekends, we are still working with our partners to get details on those events to make sure that we can give those to you and invite everybody to that type of stuff. That being said, we do have, as far as traveling science teacher, where I come and I support your school and your school at different levels. So some folks want me to come in and inspire their staff, inspire and empower staff, and some folks have me come in for the entire school year to provide supports around science education for students for the whole school year. And so we do still have some spots available for that. You're going to just send me a DM or you send me an email. Okay. Ms. Steph at tfempowerment.org. So MSSTEPH at tfempowerment.org is how you get a hold of me if you want to get in on our traveling science teacher program. Also, if you're interested in being a community partner for some of the things that will happen in the spring, yes, I'm already booking spring community events because community events for the fall kind of full right now. But you can also kind of get on back burner and say, hey, Ms. Steph, in case somebody cancels, we want one of those spots when it comes to the fall. But for spring, we definitely are very, very open for collaborations and community events for spring 2026. So that's another thing that you can reach out to me for. As far as today's activity, am I going to do a full-blown activity? No. But are we going to kind of chit-chat about something that I'm working on? Yes. So I am in the process of testing some textured art stuff here. So there's this. Fantastic. Yes. All right. As you know, I firmly believe, well, for those of you who know me and have been watching me on the internet, one of my things is to test. I made a post last week. Test everything. I run everything before I do it with the children. So one of the things that I'm looking into is exploration around the science behind creating textured art, as an art that's not flat, but has some bumps and valleys and all that type of stuff. Our primary way that we do that now is through making puff paint. I have plenty of content on here and on YouTube and on Facebook of me making puff paint out of shaving cream, glue, and food coloring. I'm now looking into what activities we can do with acrylic paint. Okay. And also, again, creating textured art with the young people, testing it, right? Because one of the things that we are very into over here at Science Club is the idea that art and science are collaborative and are definitely kind of the same thing. I've talked to y'all about that before. Go back and watch that live. As far as my philosophy on art and science and all that, and how they relate. And yes, they do relate very strongly. So in particular, one of the things that I found in doing kind of a DIY thing, because yes, I like DIY, do it yourself, not because I don't believe in purchasing items. Y'all know I like buying high quality materials for the students so that they can have that exposure as well. That's one of our ways, that's part of the philosophy, is that we do purchase. Triple F Empowerment Inc. firmly believes in providing high quality materials for the children. And in particular, when it comes to art materials, you see how I have this canvas here, these little mini canvas panels and all that type of stuff. And yes, we've purchased actual acrylic, brand name acrylic paint and all that type of stuff. But that being said, we still also like to show them what it's like to mix things together to formulate those things on their own. And so that's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about DIY, as far as doing some chemical engineering. And so I was doing some research, and one of the things that I came across, and yes, we will do this with the students. this on a Saturday. This is actually would be a great Saturday science club activity. Was the idea of creating the textured paint, creating a paste with by simply combining two materials, two chemicals together, two compound materials together, and that's baking soda, sodium bicarbonate, and acrylic paint. And so when I did that, I did some, like I said, I do testing. When I did that, this is what I got. It dried rather quickly. And so when I'm talking about drying quickly, I'm talking about within an hour, it could be touched. When doing puff paint with students, the formulation that I use, that glue, shaving cream, food coloring, and also typically a starch. As of late, I've been adding a starch to it. I may try adding some baking soda to it too, just to kind of see how that changes the response and changes just the functionality of our DIY puffing. And so the kids can compare, right? See, you see how we just together just made up another science experiment to do with it, right? You see how that works. That's how I'm processing. That's how we're doing things over here. It's like, I wonder what would happen if. And also actually testing stuff. I'm telling y'all all the time, do not just go online and some person on YouTube tells you, oh yeah, try this. Because that's what happened. I'm doing my research because there are different acrylic pastes that can be purchased to actually properly mix at certain ratios with acrylic paint to get a predictable product out and get a predictable like something that's like functional. It's proper textured art. So along with that research, I came across somebody that was like, yeah, just add baking soda. There's a whole conversation happening in the texture art world right now, by the way, as far as like the issues with that. So know that I'm approaching this from the science experimentation aspect. So for those of you who are artists and you have your own opinion about this, know that I am not trying to comment on whether or not that this is what should be done. I'm more commenting on the idea of the experimentation of it and for children to be able to play with this and then to play and experiment and explore whether or not you get the same performance level by purchasing something and by formulating it together and getting an understanding of why this is someone's actual job, someone's actual STEAM field job to formulate paint. You see that? So anywho, it's been great hanging out with you all. I do have a meeting in the very near future. So I'm not going to hang out with you too much longer, but I want to say thank you for those of you who continue to watch and continue to interact, continue to like the videos, continue to share the work that we're doing at Triple F Empowerment Inc. through our premier program, Ms. Steph Science Club. Be advised that recently I did go ahead and publish our official year-round, it's just going to be without end, fundraising campaign. So there, You Make Science Fun is the name of the campaign, and we can, discuss why I called it that. It may be obvious because our motto is We Make Science Fun, and we're wanting to make sure that our supporters are aware of really just how impactful you all are. You all are very impactful in making science fun for young people, making it accessible, in particular to our youth here in Harlem that we are focused on. And of course, we do provide this interaction online so that folks who cannot get to us physically are able to access the content, are able to come up with the ideas, are able to discuss right? The science behind the challenges, because again, I told you, I tested this on Saturday. I saw it online and I was curious, how is that product going to behave? Am I going to be able to paint with that? Is that going to give the experience that I want the children to have? Is it going to dry fast enough? Is it going to dry slow enough? Because sometimes with paint products, you don't want it to dry too quickly because you get cracking, you get all these things. It's dull, all that type of stuff. Um, Again, we're here making science fun together. You participate. You are a community member. You're a participant, and so we're super appreciative of you. And once again, that's available to you to come alongside us and be able to give in a way to where things don't expire. Because sometimes I am asked, as our founder and executive director, as our visionary leader, I'm asked, oh, do you take donations year round, or does it have to go specifically only to summer camp, or does it have to go specifically to Saturday program? All of those things come up in conversation. And so we are responding to your questions and to your concerns and to your interest in this work and to providing all these things that can be provided to our wonderful, beautiful youth right here in Harlem through our programming. So all that being said, yes, that campaign will just go on kind of indefinitely. That fundraiser will be up. There will be other fundraisers through over the years throughout different specific time frames. But that being said, that's our thing that's just going to be evergreen and it's going to be there for you all to come alongside us throughout the year. And your support enables us to do these programs. Saturday Science Club, Summer Science Club. It rolls over into Traveling Science Teacher and rolling over into our community events. Your support does those things. Special shout out. I'm not going to say the person's name, but they're going to know who they are. Special shout out. We were provided with an immense gift that is allowing us to, again, provide high quality art materials specifically. So shout out to that person. I'm saying it that way on purpose. Okay. But we were donated recently pretty large gift around our art supplies because that person knows how much art is important in incorporating into our science exploration time. So thank you so much for that. Super excited about all the things that are coming up for fall 2025. Keep in contact with us. You can like, comment, subscribe, all those things. And make sure that if you have any questions or would like to join our community, you are most welcome. And you can do that through various things, sending me a DM, sending me an email, or hopping on our website at www.tfempowerment.org and making sure that you're clicking that contact button and signing up there. Thank you so much for watching Live with Ms. Steph, and have an absolutely wonderful day.